The first thing you feel is the cold, not the killing cold. That comes later. This is just air hitting wet scales and damp feathers for the first time as you push through the shell. It's late spring in northern Canada. The tundra is barely thawing, and you're a very, very small Utahraptor. Your mother is not. She's 9 meters long, about 30 feet of feathered muscle and teeth, somewhere around 1,400 kilograms, roughly the size of a black rhino, except built for killing rather than grazing. When she moves, the ground shakes. By any measure that matters, she is the largest predator this continent has seen in 10,000 years. And right now, she's watching you struggle out of your egg. There are 2 other eggs in the nest. One never hatches. The other hatches, but what comes out isn't moving correctly. It drags itself a few feet from the shell and stops. Your mother watches it for a while, then she stops watching it. By morning, it's gone. You're the only one that makes it out alive. The first weeks blur together. You sleep against her. You wake up hungry and she feeds you. All you know is warmth and food and the constant presence of something that loves you and will not let anything hurt you. Summer in this place is 60 days long. That's it. The whole window where the tundra wakes up and pretends to be habitable. The caribou come first, hundreds of thousands of them moving north in massive herds. Your mother has been studying them since before you hatched. She knows the water crossings where they have to swim, the narrow valleys where running doesn't help. These are the choke points, and she owns every one of them. When she hunts, you stay behind, too small, too slow, too fragile. You press yourself into the rocks and wait. Sometimes you hear the chaos across the open tundra, bellowing, crashing, a wave of panic. Then silence, then the slow, heavy footsteps that mean she's coming back. And she always comes back, with blood on her feathers, meat in her jaws. You eat first, always first. The wolves figure out you exist quickly, 8, maybe 9 of them. Gray and rangy, they've never lost a fight that mattered. When your mother walks through their territory, they try to challenge her. Just once. She doesn't run, she doesn't freeze. She turns toward them, all 9 meters, and makes a sound that travels through the ground as much as the air. The wolves scatter. Something in them breaks. They don't come back. A grizzly makes the same mistake a few weeks later. The fight lasts 4 seconds. The bear limps away, trailing blood. That's the last time anything challenges her for a meal. For 60 days a year, she owns this place entirely. Then September comes, and the temperature doesn't drop slowly. It crashes. The caribou move south, the herds empty out, the easy kills disappear. What's left is sparse, scattered, getting harder to find every day. The muskox stay, they don't migrate. When threatened, they form a circle. Adults on the outside, horns facing out, calves protected in the middle. It's a wall that nothing in this ecosystem has ever managed to break. Your mother tries, she circles, she feints, she charges. But she's never seen anything like this, and eventually she walks away. It's November now, -30, -40. Her feathers evolve for hard winters, but not this, not -50 with a wind that never stops. She slows down, she conserves energy. She pulls you close when the worst of the cold hits, and somewhere in there, without you understanding what it means, she stops eating so that you can eat instead. By December, the warmth is fading. Every calorie she spends keeping you warm is a calorie she doesn't have for herself. The math doesn't work. It never worked. But she keeps going anyway, still shielding you from the wind, still finding whatever frozen scrap she can, still putting your survival ahead of hers. Then one morning, 17 weeks after you hatched, she doesn't get up. You press against her. You make the sounds you've been making since you were born. The small high calls that always made her turn toward you. Nothing happens. Her eyes are open, but they're not seeing anything. No rise and fall of breath, no warmth. The cold took her. Not the wolves, not the bears, not anything with teeth or claws, just the cold, just the math. Just an equation that said something her size, burning energy at this rate, in cold this deep, was never going to make it through the winter. She was the most powerful creature on this continent. and the cold didn't care. You stay with her for a while because you don't know what else to do, and eventually some instinct older than thought understands that staying here means dying here, so you leave. You're 40 kilograms. You've never killed anything that wasn't already dead, and the only thing standing between you and the same ending is learning how to kill faster than this place can starve you. The first winter grinds you down slowly. You need 20 kilograms of food per day just to survive temperatures this low. You're getting maybe 3. The difference comes out of your fat, then your muscle, then whatever's left after that. You eat lemmings, hundreds of them. Tiny things that cost almost as much energy to catch as they give back. You eat frozen fish from cracked lake ice, a dead fox half buried in a snowdrift. Things that stop smelling like anything long ago. There's a moment in late January when you stop moving. You're lying behind a rock that blocks some of the wind, and the idea of getting up feels impossible. Your body is telling you to stay down, conserve heat. Wait. But wait for what? Nothing's coming. Your mother is frozen somewhere behind you. You get up anyway, because something in you refuses to quit. Some part of instinct that's been watching things survive for 125 million years and isn't ready to stop today. Spring comes in late April. You're still alive. Your first real hunt is a snowshoe hare. You spend 20 minutes chasing it before you corner it against a rock. The kill takes 2 seconds. You eat the whole thing, fur, bones, everything. But here's the thing. You did it. Not your mother, not leftovers she left somewhere. You. Something changes after that. You stop seeing the world as a place where food shows up and start seeing it as a place full of things you might be able to take. Your second kill is a caribou calf, separated from the herd at a river crossing, scrambling up the wrong bank, alone and exhausted. You close the distance in seconds, 1 bite. The struggling stops. The taste of warm meat, something you killed at full strength, is different from anything you've eaten in months. Your whole body responds. This is what you were built for. You spend the next years learning. Caribou are fastest on open ground. Water crossings are better. Muskox circles are a puzzle. You get the answer wrong in year 2 and take a horn across the thigh that nearly kills you. You spend the winter bleeding fat reserves you can't replace, surviving by 6 days. 6 days. 1 more week of winter and you'd have ended up frozen on the tundra, same as her. But you learned something. The circle isn't unbreakable. You committed too early. The bull had time to react. Next time, you wait. Year 3. You're 400 kilograms now. You find a muskox herd and you circle them for almost an hour. You watch them tire, watch the seams in their formation get wider, and then 2 cows on the far side instead of bulls. Shorter horns, a sliver of space. You don't charge the gap, you charge the opposite side. The bulls brace for impact, heads down, but you veer left at the last second, loop the outside, and hit the real gap from an angle they weren't watching. The cows try to close ranks, too slow. You shoulder through. You're inside the circle. Chaos. The formation shatters. You grab the nearest calf and you're gone before the adults can regroup. 10,000 years. That circle held for 10,000 years. Your mother couldn't crack it. You just walked through. By year 5, you're 1,200 kilograms, 9 meters long. The same size she was when she died, except you've been this size for years, and you know things she never had time to learn. Wolves scatter when they catch your scent. Grizzlies abandon fresh kills the moment you appear. Polar bears stay on the coast. The caribou routes are bending, herds adding days to their migration, burning calories they can barely spare just to stay out of your range. You're watching an entire ecosystem change around you in real time. You are the apex. Nothing comes close. In year 6, or maybe 7, the count stops mattering. You travel back to where she died. No reason that would hold up under any kind of thinking. Just a direction that feels right. A path your feet seem to know. You walk for 3 days, past crossings you've hunted 100 times, past muskox territory you cleared out years ago, until you reach a slope that looks familiar. Her bones are scattered, picked clean. bleached white by sun and cold and wind. Enough remains that you can still see what she was. The skull, the ribs spreading wide across the tundra, the long leg bones that once shook the ground when she moved. You stand over what's left for a long time, and then you do something you haven't done in years. You make the low rumble your species used for a contact call, the sound she made when she wanted you near. It rises from your chest, rolls out across the empty tundra, spreads in every direction, and fades into wind and distance. Nothing answers, nothing ever has, nothing ever will. You are the only thing on this continent. Her bones are scattered, picked clean, bleached white by sun and cold and wind. Enough remains that you can still see what she was. The skull, the ribs spreading wide across the tundra, the long leg bones that once shook the ground when she moved. You stand over what's left for a long time, and then you do something you haven't done in years. You make the low rumble your species used for a contact call, the sound she made when she wanted you near. It rises from your chest, rolls out across the empty tundra, spreads in every direction, and fades into wind and distance. Nothing answers, nothing ever has, nothing ever will. You are the only thing on this continent, maybe on this planet, that knows what that sound means. Your species went extinct 65 million years ago. You are a loose thread that showed up late, one last echo of something the universe already finished with. You are your entire species, and you always have been. And ever since she died, you've been making that sound into silence.